No, I don't believe in capital punishment because there's always a room for error. And when there's a room for error, there's that possibility that the wrong person gets executed.
I don't believe in the death penalty at all because I think it's too cruel, it's too harsh. You can just put them in prison for the rest of their life, but don't kill them.
From a moral standpoint, I don't think you can show that killing people is wrong by killing people.
We could put them in prison or that kind of stuff to learn not to ever do it again, but to kill them, I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't believe in killing people, even if you're taking life of someone else. I think life imprisonment is probably harsher than death.
Welcome to the Hayward Buddhist Center. My name is Reverend Long B. Nguyen, the abbot of this center. As a Buddhist, we try to have compassion for everybody. We don't want anybody to have suffering. So we try and we wish that nobody is having punishment. However, to protect the society and the people, we respect the law and order system. There is no specific or particular stand for that case. As I said, we always try to have compassion for all parties involved. So we try to give an equal compassion, kindness, in order for them to understand each other. From that point, they will have a chance to transform their bad behavior and become a good citizen, a good people in the family to each other. In my own opinion, I observe somebody after they committed a very bad crime, but with the compassion, with the understanding, and with the support of the friends and people around, they will make a difference. So all in all, if possible, we should give that person a second chance to build up the life again.
My name is Abu Qadir Al-Amin. I was in prison a total of 9 years, and I was on death row for 2 years and 4 months. Maybe 2 weeks or a month prior to me being sentenced to death row, a Jewish guy and a Caucasian guy were sentenced in the same jail that I was in. They were sentenced to death row. And I knew I was faced with a capital offense, and I knew that one of the possibilities might be the death penalty. And when I saw those two individuals get the death penalty, I kind of accepted that that might be also my fate. We live in a society where African Americans and people of color have been vilified. They've been turned into villains in the media, popular media, the movies and things like that. And then when you look at the numbers of police that are in neighborhoods of people of color, there's a bias that exists in how people are arrested, who's suspected of crimes. There's a bias in terms of who goes to jail. There's a bias that exists within the judicial system when punishment is meted out. And because these these exist, and I think it was the San Jose Mercury News did maybe a 8-part article on the inequities in the legal system, in the judicial system, and of course, unless those things are corrected, these problems will continue. Many days, I reflected on my life and what could I do from that point on. I was hopeful, despite the fact that I was faced with a circumstance that most people wouldn't find hopeful. But I found hope in my faith. I began to give my attention to working on my own character defects and improving my own personality and my attitude, and I began to concentrate on doing those things that would make me a better person. I understand the seriousness of some crimes may warrant a person having to be held accountable for their actions. And in a society where their laws are administered fairly and also executed fairly, then I would think in an ideal situation that might work. But in a society such as ours, where there are so many prevailing inequities in terms of who ends up getting these kind of treatments, I think that there shouldn't be a death penalty in a society such as ours, where a wealthy person has never received a death penalty. Only certain classes of people and certain people from certain socioeconomic backgrounds end up on death row. Rich people have never went to death row, though rich people have been faced with capital offenses. It devastated my mother particularly, and it traumatized the rest of the family, and it was a terrible blow on the family. And I regretted having taken them through the ordeal that they had to go through, watching me go through what I went through. And also, I had regrets about the family whose lives I had affected by taking the life of one of their family members. The Quran, it says in the Quran that if you take the life of a person, it's as though you have killed all of humanity. And it also says if you save the life of a person, it's as though you have saved all of humanity. So Islam places a very, very high value on human life. We have a kind of idea in our society that once you reach a certain age, you're responsible for your actions, or you should be responsible for your actions. I think we call it the age of reason. And once you get to a certain age, you're going to be held accountable for your behavior. So young people who do things that are very serious, then they're going to be held accountable. Myself personally, I was 19 years old when I committed the offense that I committed that caused me to end up on death row and in prison. And at the time, I was a ward of the state. I was on the California Youth Authority parole, but I had to be held accountable for my actions. I did what I did. It wasn't a good choice on my part, but I paid the consequences. I suffered the consequences. I paid my debt to society, and I learned from those mistakes, and I made myself a better person as a result of those things. Currently, my life is very full in terms of activities. I work for the Center on Juvenile and Criminal Justice. I'm the director of a social model alcohol and drug rehabilitation facility. I work with ex-offenders, ex-prisoners, people on parole. I help them come out and reacclimate themselves to the society. We assist them with substance abuse counseling, with job development, with housing, employment, and we help them to make a transition, successful transition, back into the community. So I do that full time. Then I'm a parent. I'm happily married. I have 4 children. And I'm also a leader within the Muslim faith. I'm an imam. I give sermons weekly, and I lead the prayers, and I teach classes. So I have a pretty full life.